I started Heartletics back in 2017. This is when I took my in-person training business and went fully online. Now, Heartletics actually started before 2017, and I want to explain that inside this video right here. I'm just going to call him Dave, okay? Because this actually is from one of my in-person training clients who listens to the podcast, who watches my YouTube videos, who's still a very close friend of mine. And I know he probably does not want to be, mentioned. So we're just going to call him Dave, okay? I was training Dave. This is probably about 2015, 2016, okay? And I just remember we were in the back of this building, right, where I was training my clients at, and we were outside, and we were flipping tires. And Dave used to be this amazing college football player. But obviously, hey, working a 9 to 5, graduating, and getting married, having kids, kind of let go, right, of his health and fitness goals. It happens, right? Who knows? Maybe you're watching this right now and you're in the same place. Maybe you used to be great at baseball, basketball, football, kind of like Dave, right? And then after school, you got a 9 to 5, you got married, and you got kids, and now you got the dad bod, okay? If that sounds like you, this video might be able to inspire you, okay? So, once again, I don't know if this was the end of 2015 or beginning of 2016. I just remember it was before I started my online coaching business. And me and Dave were in the back, okay? We're flipping tires, and he's struggling. Like, I've been coaching him for probably about, at that point, maybe like 6 months. So I know Dave on a personal level, okay? I know about his past, I know about his goals, I know what to say, I know what I shouldn't say, because anytime you're coaching somebody or training them, whether it's online or whether it's in person, it's about building trust. It's about communication. That's how you grow close with one another. And that's why I love what I do with my online coaching clients, because it's relationships, right? I know what they like, I know what they don't like, and I know how to coach them better as the relationship grows, right? So Dave is struggling. And I look at Dave and I said, Dave, what is going on? Like, it's either a mental thing today, you don't feel like it, like, what's going on? And Dave happened to just open up to me. He's like, Joe, I'm gonna be honest, man. I just feel so discouraged. Like, I used to literally be able, and this was the first time we were flipping tires. He said, Joe, I used to be able to do this all the time in college like it was nothing. He's like, I can't even flip the tire like 2-3 times without literally feeling like I'm going to pass out. I said, okay. I said, what are we going to do about it? He said, I don't know. He's like, I part of me wants to throw up. The other part wants me to literally just stop, go in my car and go home, shower. I said, Dave, we need to have a conversation, man. So we sat down on the tire, right? It's a huge tire. We sat down, we just talked. And I said, Dave, I understand that you used to be this amazing college athlete. And you still are that person. Now, you might not look like them. You might not have the same muscle mass as them. You might not have the same energy. You might not have the same ambition, right, as that person that you used to be. But that person is still there. And I looked at Dave, and I pointed to his chest. And I said, he's in your heart. And like, this was the awakening of Heartletics, if you want to call it, because fast forward a year later, and boom, Heartletics, the LLC, the whole 9 yards, trademark, and the business started, right? But the conversation I had with him is the same conversation I want you to hear right now. Regardless if you used to be an athlete, regardless if you've never been an athlete, if you have a heart, right, that's all you need to be successful. Heartletics. You first start with the heart. Letics, obviously the athletic part, right? You move in your body. I'm not saying backflips and burpees. I'm not saying muscle ups. I'm not saying deadlifts and tire throws and slams. No, you're just moving your body. It could be as simple as what I'm doing right now, literally recording this podcast episode and walking on a treadmill, right? And some of our coaching clients, like, they don't even work out. Like, we literally just give them habits of like just walking and just say, focus on tracking your macros, follow through with our guidance on our check-ins that we do weekly, and yeah, you're going to get great results. And it happens, right? Because let's face it, 80 to 90% of the results is nutrition anyways. But putting that aside, before anything, before even the nutrition, right? Before the success, you got to have the right heart. You got to have the right mindset. And we talk about that as the foundation. Now, mindset is great, but I think what a lot of people forget about when it comes like to mindset, right? It's great to have like your goals and be disciplined and, hungry to make a change and inspire others. I think that's great. But like, you got to remember that like everybody thinks mindset is just what's going on up here. And there's some truth to that because your thoughts, but a lot of it also stems from right here, your heart. That's where you get your feelings, that's where you get your emotions involved. And if you think about it, right, like I'll use my deep-rooted why, right? I don't want to grow up one day and my son not being able to, or I should say vice versa, right? I'm not being able to keep up with my son. I don't want to grow up one day and my son not having like the memories where, he's in his teens. I mean, he's 6 years old right now, so I'm fast forward, right? He's in his teens and like I'm not playing baseball with him. I'm not playing catch with him. I'm not doing all these things with him. I'm not building those relationships with him. And fast forward now into like, let's say his early 20s, And like, I don't want my son to be exposed to peer pressure, whether that's drugs, alcohol, anything like that I was exposed to at an early age, right? So it's like, I know that being just like around my son, working out with him, building that camaraderie, training with each other, having a great relationship, he's going to feel more open and honest to trusting me. So when peer pressure does come his way, instead of him just going to his friends or whatever the case may be, I want him to feel so comfortable with me, not just being his dad, but being his best friend, where he can open up to me and say, hey, Dad, should I do this? Hey, Dad, I was asked this. Hey, Dad, I overheard some people talking about this. Hey, Dad, I was exposed to this. I want him to be honest with me. And a lot of that has to do with, like, in any relationship, trust and communication. And what is the best way to grow a bond, a friendship, is, hey, do things together. Sports, walk, laugh, play video games. Like, I'm not saying be obsessed with working out, but, like, that's one of my deep-rooted whys. And why I'm always constantly staying in shape is because I want to have the energy to play with them and continue to do that as I grow older, as I know my energy levels are going to tank, right? And as he grows older, his energy levels are going to increase as he gets to his teens, right? So that's why I stay in shape, right? To be a fit dad for the rest of my life. Strong, deep-rooted why. Yeah, that's a lot of thoughts. Yeah, that's a lot of me thinking about it. But you know what it stems from? My heart, my desire, right? To be there as a fit dad, as, his best friend, right? That comes from here. So backtrack with Dave, right? We're sitting down the tire and I'm telling him, I'm like, hey, Dave, even though you might not look like an athlete, even though you might not feel like an athlete, he's still inside of you. Bring him out. Like, bring out that inner dog. Like, get that desire back. Get that hunger back. And yes, you might feel discouraged right now, but here's the thing, Dave, right? If you're using this thing each and every day to strive to be better, and we're not trying to go back to the college days, we're just focusing on that 1% better mentality. I promise you this, right? Stop looking at your goals as being on a pedestal, right? And getting discouraged because they're so far out there, and stop looking in the rearview mirror and, getting discouraged because of who you used to be. Focus on just being better than who you were yesterday. And the fact that, like, hey, you're showing up today and we're flipping some tires today, and bet you anything, you didn't do that yesterday, did you, Dave? And he's like, no, of course not. I said, okay, then we're getting better because it's progress over perfection. And you guys need to remember the same exact thing. And I promise you that. If you understand that, you will be successful. You will be unstoppable when it comes to reaching your health and fitness goals. So I wanted to come on here because obviously I know Dave is listening to this. So Dave, I appreciate you, brother. And thanks for encouraging me through all of our sessions. Thanks for, always being there as a close friend of mine. Honestly, I appreciate you, brother. I'm very grateful to have you in my life. And hopefully for you guys, if you're new to Heartletics or you never heard about Heartletics, hey, it's our online coaching program where, we train guys how to look and feel their best again by giving them personalized workouts, whether they go to the gym, whether they go home, personalized nutrition plans to follow, checking in with them all the time, right? They have 24/7 support to us, our live coaching calls, our weekly check-ins that we do, like everything to support them on their journey. But a lot of this is the mindset. A lot of this is the heart. right? Hence Heartletics. You got to have it here first, right? And then you move your body. And then over time, it becomes very easy to adapt and establish better, healthier habits. And if you're looking for any more information about that, all you have to do if you're watching this on YouTube is click on the first link down below, and it's just going to open up a training guide that you can simply take a look at, where we go over a step-by-step plan that works best for our coaching clients, how they get amazing results, how they get, in the best shape of their lives, I like to say. Since 2017, since starting Heartletics, I've been very fortunate, very blessed, and very grateful, I should say. Been able to coach thousands of guys and helping them lose fat and build muscle, and also hundreds of them able to get off their medications for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and also reversing their type 2 diabetes, which is great because in my opinion, it's literally making them live longer, healthier lives. And it's just about coaching them and teaching them what they can do each and every day to just strive to be better. Not 5%, not 10%, not 50%, 1% better than who they were yesterday. And if you focus on doing the right habits that's sustainable for your body type and your lifestyle, it's actually a lot easier. Very easy, I should say. So if you guys want more information on that, click on the link down below. And as always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics.com, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.